Next plant medicine of the day, Magnolia vines, Schizandra chinensis. So much to say about this herb. I'm going to say a couple things as quick as I can to tell you what's good. Okay, Schizandra chinensis, magnolia berries, the 5 flavored fruit. Every flavor on the palette exists in the berry. It's a lot to take in, but it is awesome because it holds schizandrins in it. They're like triterpenoids, I do believe. I'll have to double check that though, but they're very big serotonin-like molecules. And somebody once said, Nick, if you release like a bunch of serotonin into the body, it's not dissimilar from like releasing a bunch of wolves into the forest. The body is the forest, serotonin is the wolves, and they have a critical ecological function that is a powerful causal component of very many multitudinous different physiological functions. And what we have is that originally in the like early 1900s, the Russians were studying these magnolia berries because there were Russian hunters that were going out into the tundra, into the ice, and they were hunting, and they didn't have anything to eat. So they're eating these berries, and they're like, guys, this is what these berries are doing. They're helping us see better at night. They're making it so we don't have to sleep, we don't have to eat, we don't have to drink. Okay? They were just like completely sustained on the berries with higher than normal energy levels. They also said, like I said, helps them see better at night, which is crazy. I think it's just like a really cool thing that comes from it. Let's see what else. It essentially enhanced the mental and physical stamina like tenfold, 20-fold. We can't put a number on it. It's different for everybody else. What they found when they started studying it is that basically this herb and all of its effects, its normalizing effects on the nervous system, defined the category of adaptogenic herbs. It was one of the very first ones where they're like, what are we going to say about this? It exerts normalizing functions, and it gives you heightened stamina through your physical and mental being. And we found later that it's the schizandrins that are mimicking serotonin that's responsible for this. So ultimately, serotonin is a part of the holy trinity of compounds. That's what I call them. That's serotonin, melatonin, DMT. You get a little serotonin, tweak it a little bit, you get melatonin. That's the night-based, lunar-based compound. You tweak it a little bit, you get DMT. DMT is like present always throughout day and night, but it's special because it's really the God molecule, and it is, some people say that it is creating reality. It is the main filter which we have, which waters down the ultimate essence, or some could say rarefies the ultimate essence. It's all about your ratios, okay? Everything is in the ratio. And so what is happening with the magnolia vine, with the magnolia berries, which come from the magnolia vine, is that it affects your endocrinology in a way that regulates it. It normalizes it, and it synchronizes your internal clocks, okay? It regulates the diurnal and the nocturnal rhythms, which are quintessential to the human being, and I would even go so far as to say spiritual evolution, because I believe it was Yogananda who said that he said, the drama of sleep gave me the greatest faith in God. And why is he saying that? The same reason it says in the Bhagavad Gita that every time you go to sleep and you wake up, you're walking over this buried treasure, hidden gold, and you don't even know it until you learn to sleep correctly again. And I feel like that is what has become my main physical aim, is to correct my sleeping schedule, my ability to consciously fall asleep and put myself asleep and wake myself up, because there seems to be some sort of common universal tendency practice, mystical. I don't want to call it mystical because what we're calling mystical is just unknown. So it's a common universal tendency for various cultures that are disconnected from one another to explore their dreaming consciousness and associate it with the afterlife, associate it with the spiritual realm, the non-physical matter reality. And so I believe that if you go into these holy texts and stuff, they're very clear, like God is speaking to people in through their dreams when they're on the verge of sleep, and the necessity to be able to receive those messages while you're in sleep is a powerful component of the human experience. I, for one, have read all these ancestral diaries where they're like, God told me this thing in my sleep, and if I didn't act on it the next day, my family would be dead without a shadow of a doubt. So I have strongly held convictions about the power of consciousness in its nightly form. And what I'm all trying to like wrap this around is that you can't really get into that powerful state of self-awareness unless you are in tune with the environment. And so what I'm trying to do here is create balance internally and externally and synchronize the body with the natural world. Because once you're moving with the natural world, like nobody's gonna stop a planet from spinning. Nobody's gonna stop the sun from flying through space or whatever it's doing. What we need to do to step into the next grandest image of who we truly are is to walk with the natural endowments that we've been given by existence. Because these are just filler words. We need to get in tune with the environment, get in tune with nature, because this is going to bring us up to the next level. That's what's going to empower us to be what we're supposed to be, because we're not supposed to be like, these cyborg creatures using computers to get all our information, dependent on external sources of energy and happiness, and, looking to external forms of God, which is what the mainstay kind of sentiment has been for quite some time, for at least the last 2,000 years. Shout out Abrahamic traditions. But we're going to break that conception when we are able to fine tune our systems and then ultimately have direct experience of something that's greater than just the physical body in our regular sense-based experience. And how do we do that? We help our physiology counter for all the imbalances that it is developed through growing up in this culture. Culture is an illness. Culture is a sickness. We need to relieve ourselves of it. And I think there's no better way to do that than through plant medicine. So if you think that you could use better sleep, you could use more natural energy, you want to wake up with the sun and go to sleep with the moon and get the syzygy of them both through the DMT, schizandrins can most definitely help regulate that system that is already within you. And so that is why I love Magnolia berries. Schizandrinogenesis, very widely used popular plant medicine that's in a bunch of drinks and a bunch of herbs. You can actually eat the berries raw. Again, they're delicious. That's it. Hopefully that was under 5 minutes. Thank you for listening. Have a grand existence.